Okay, let's get back to our subject at hand, wisdom. We already seen the diagram of the simplified blood flow throughout the human body. Now let's look at the simplified blood flow through our brain. But first let me point out that something that you may or may not realize. Now, your brain is composed of two hemispheres or two halves. Okay, you have a left side of your brain, you have a right side of your brain. Okay. Of course, you have a left side of your body and a right side of your body. You know, your right hand, your left hand. Okay. Now, listen. Your right side brain controls the left side of your body, and your left brain controls the right side of your body. So, for instance, while you're watching this video, if I say raise your right hand, okay, what's taking place is that your right hand is being moved by your left brain. So it's the left side of your head that's telling your right hand to raise or snap your fingers or wave by. That's your left side of your brain doing that. And conversely or similarly, your right brain tells your left hand what to do. Okay? All right. Okay. Let's get to the blood flow through the brain. In general, the overall blood flow through the brain looks like this. Uh, okay, I'm going to invert this picture because I don't want you to get mixed up because uh, the blood flow that through your brain, it goes in through your left side basically and exit through your right side. So let me invert the picture. So so when I'm talking about the left and right side, you won't get confused. Okay, so the picture should look like this for the purposes of our discussion. Okay, in general, we see more oxygenated blood flowing to the left brain, to the left side of the brain, which goes through the brain and comes out of the right side. Again, if looking at the diagram, we see that the blood flow is from left to right. Okay. Now, for any medical doctors, anybody looking at this film and saying, "Well, it's a little more complicated than that." Yeah, that's true, but this is a basic overall view. But any doctor will agree when you're talking about the external jugular vein. The external jugular vein is located on the right side of your neck. Okay, and the jugular vein is typically twice the size of any vein in your neck. Now, the jugular vein when we say vein, the vein is the pathway of blood back to the heart. When you talk about an artery, the artery concerns blood flow away from the heart. So the external jugular vein is the path of the blood that goes back to the heart, and that's on the right side. So we have the blood flowing up to the left brain and crossing over to the right brain and exiting the brain and going back to the heart through the jugular vein, the external jugular vein on the right side of your body. Now that we see the general picture, let us focus more on the brain, the left and right sides of it. Let's take a closer examination or a closer look at the functions of your left brain and your right brain. Okay, here we go. Okay, looking at the diagram, we see that the left brain, the left side of your brain, deals with logic, reason, objectivity, verbal skills, your focus, your purposefulness. Okay, and we see that the right side of the brain deals with your intuition, your emotions, your subjectivity, your visual skills, your creativity. Okay. So we're not going to use all of these characteristics or adjectives to refer to the brain throughout this lesson. But what I want to do is give you an overall view of how to view your left brain and how to view your right brain, so we can kind of surmise the left brain from the right brain by example. Okay. Now, if we look at the left brain and look at let's just take the very first two descriptors for the left brain, which is logic and reason. Well, we can say that your left side of you, or your left brain, I should say, we can call that part of your brain Mr. Spock. Okay. Now, the right side of your brain, looking at the first two characteristics, is associated with your intuition and emotions. Okay. Now, this side we would characterize with we say this is the feminine side of your brain, as opposed to the masculine side of your brain, which is the left. Okay. It should, this character, I'm not getting into a gender argument or a gender war here about women being emotional and this kind. I'm just speaking facts. Okay. For instance, we have a saying that women have a certain intuition, like a woman have intuition or a mother's intuition. Okay. So, and typically, it's such a touchy subject these days with political correctness, but I'm kind of old fashioned, and the way people thought in the past about a lot of things typically are true. Women are generally more emotional than men. Okay, so we can think of your right side as your feminine side, and to give it a characteristic, an overall view, think of the concerning its intuition skills and its emotional skills. Let's call this side the oracle. As it relates to intuition, somehow things are going to happen before they happen. And I must admit, with my experience in dealing with women, both platonically and romantically, they do have a certain intuition. And I'm sure most men, or all of us fellas, will agree with that women typically have an intuition. They'll get a certain feeling like something's about to happen, something's wrong. They could be at a party, they could be having a great time, they could be with you, and all of a sudden, she feel like something's wrong. I gotta call so and so, or something's not right. Or they could be in a club with you. So we can associate the feminine side or women with the character from the Matrix, the Oracle. Knowing things based on your feeling or intuitiveness. You really can't explain it. That's the mystery of a woman. But let me quit. Okay. Okay, bringing these two things together, we have this.